A warm welcome to Anuradha Vedic Astrology. Today we are going to talk about two planets of intelligence and learning, Jupiter and Mercury. What results do they show when they are together in a combination, or if they have a certain relationship with each other? So let's learn about them in this episode. But before that, a big thanks to all of you for liking, sharing and subscribing to our YouTube and Spotify channels and writing in your suggestions, your comments there. If you haven't subscribed to us, please do. And do remember to press the bell icon so that you can get the updates ASAP. Jupiter and Mercury, the two planets that own the 3, 6, 9 and 12 signs of the zodiac, the planets which are said to be very similar and yet they have a lot of difference also. Let's spot out the difference, the subtle ones that is, and then we see how they give us the results when they are placed together in a chart. To begin with, when Jupiter talks about wisdom, a deep knowledge that one has and one has been able to process that knowledge, whereas Mercury in a person's chart is the skills, the ability to grasp something. It is a dire need to learn things up. It's the Kumara who wants to know everything. And Jupiter is all about knowing things, understanding things, pondering on them and being in solitude. Whereas our Mercury is all vivacious. It wants to learn and it wants to convey those learnings to others. So it needs to be in a company. He is the quintessential party boy, the one who enjoys good communication with a lot of people. Jupiter represents wealth, whereas Mercury talks about your ability to earn that wealth. Jupiter and Mercury are both, as I said, the lords of the 3, 6, 9 and 12 houses. Jupiter owning the 9 and the 12th house of the Kalpurush Kundali, whereas Mercury owning the 3 and the 6 houses. They are the signs of adaptability. So we'll see how they give the results. So let's begin with what happens when they are placed together. When Jupiter and Mercury are placed together in a sign, we know that these are the planets that give us profound learnings and an ability to write, to convey our learnings in a better manner. Not only that, they give a person an ability to understand things and to assimilate them in a proper manner so that conveying of it and understanding of it is very good. Also, such people make great impressions on others because they are great conversationalists. Why? Because to converse with people, you need to have a body of work and you need to have that knowledge to be able to flawlessly explain things to others. So these people will have a great body of knowledge which they are able to communicate well. In fact, they are also good writers, they are also skilled in teaching, learning, etc. These people, these people have the ability, uncanny ability to turn whatever their form of knowledge is into a money-making enterprise. Why so? Jupiter gives you the wealth and your ideas of earning wealth will come from Mercury. So these people also know how to be a good money makers. Another thing that I have found out is that these people are very humorous. Humor is a sign of intelligence because to be humorous at the right time, one has to be very specific about and very quick with your knowledge. So I found that Mercury represents the humor and that sense of timing when to use it is with that Jupiter. So these people are also very humorous personalities. Again, as I see that learning and teaching are a part of Jupiter-Mercury combination. So we see that when Jupiter and Mercury are together, these people can teach and learn anything. In fact, in the Shastras, it has been mentioned that Jupiter represents the Vedas, learnings of the Vedas, and Mercury also talks about the Puranas and the philosophicals. So these people have the ability to be in sync with the occult sciences, with the Shastriya knowledge. Not only that, these people also have the ability to be very modern in their approach of learning things, because Jupiter represents the now and the here, the thought process. So, even if the thought process keeps changing, your ability to be with the past and to assimilate it to with the modern context is very strong when Jupiter and Mercury are connected. You will always see that these people are highly adaptable. Whatever the scene may be, wherever the whatever the circumstances, these people know how to mold themselves according to situations. Why? Because they represent the changing signs of the zodiac, and hence adaptability is something that comes very naturally to these people. Now let's take up a few examples of adaptability and the sign of and where Jupiter and Mercury are sitting. So supposing we are going to take the chart of Sanjeev Kapoor. In Sanjeev Kapoor's chart, we see that his Lagna is Libra Lagna, and Jupiter and Mercury are both placed in the 7th house in the sign of Aries. Mercury is in Bharani Nakshatra, that is in 16 degrees 7 minutes, whereas Jupiter is said to be in Ashwini Nakshatra in 6 degrees 16 minutes. We will talk about the Ashwini Nakshatra and the Bharani Nakshatra aspect later. But when we are talking about this combination, we have seen that Sanjeev Kapoor is very adaptable. Why so? Because they are kind of trailblazers, as I told you, because they have the ideas, they know how to turn things into wealth, and they know which areas they need to conquer, best out of waste. And so this is something that is so innately applicable in Sanjeev Kapoor's chart, where the 6th lord sitting in the 7th house, he gives up a job and he starts something new of his own, because Jupiter also aspects the 3rd house, its own house, and this combination which gives him ideas as well as the ability to execute his ideas, be it with culinary skill and executing it fast, because Jupiter is in the Ashwini Nakshatra. Again, with Jupiter being in Ashwini Nakshatra, the ability to learn goes up high, and Mercury in Bharani will give the person such a lot of clout to be able to be wise and judge things as to what to be taken and what not to be taken. Again, when I said that these people are adaptable, so he started at Khana Khazana with an Indian cuisine, but if you look through his episodes in Khana Khazana, you will see how he progressed and got a lot of things molded, changed, so as to serve importantly for his audience, and not only that, moved on to other cuisines also to make sure that his audience had a much better variety and a wider variety, and so that it was sustainable for the entire project as such. So, as we see that these people know the ability, have the ability to sustain all these things. Again, as I move further, when I talk about learnings, obviously along the way a lot of learning and a lot of development has happened. They make good conversationalists. For that, I will ask you to look into his interviews. He always has a smiling face, and Sanjeev Kapoor has a very good sense of humor, a witty sense of humor. So, and that reflects in his intelligence, so to say. If you want, we can also be taking up the chart of Jeffrey Archer. Jeffrey Archer, we know, has been a very great writer of his times, and he has his Jupiter and Mercury along with Ketu in the 12th house. Jupiter is placed in its own house, and Mercury, though, is in the sign of debilitation, but is with Ketu and Jupiter, showing that there is a lot of redemption. Again, for him, the Lagna, Mercury is also showing Viparit Rajyog, because it is the lord of the 12th and the 3rd and is debilitated in the 9th house. For this, you must look into my video on Viparit Raj Yoga. Jupiter, being the 6th and the 9th lord placed in the 9th house, gave him lots and lots of luck. and gave him a lot of recognition and name and fame. His ability to write so beautifully and to capture his audience, be it his books like A Penny More, Not a Penny Less, or Not a Penny More, Shall We Tell the President, then there are a number of books that you can be entrailed of Jeffrey Archer. So we can see that the writing part, the ideas part, he went bankrupt twice and he came up from that. Wealth was something that was very much a part of his life, and we saw that his books were the ones which gave him wealth. So, as I would like to say that if you have this combination in your chart, or somebody else you know has this combination in their chart, do let us know. Write to us about it and see how this combination is prospering in the chart, because this is one of the very beautiful combinations that gives you both intelligence as well as wealth. What more could you ask for? So till we meet with you again, stay safe. Please hit the bell icon for fresh updates. Don't forget to like, share and comment on the videos, and please subscribe to our channel.